Hey everyone, welcome to another Scryfall Shenanigans episode. So what are we looking at in this episode? So firstly, it's going to be more of a sort of aesthetic episode where we're looking at, I suppose, the artwork over a period of time for a particular card or group of cards from a particular set. So how this really came about was, if you remember a while back, I opened some Dominaria Remastered packs, which is quite unusual for this website because, as you know, I don't open new stuff very often. So it was quite a big thing, and I think how I did it was that someone had given me some money for Christmas for a gift voucher for a local card store, and so I sort of blew the voucher on some Dominaria Remastered packs. So I'll include a link to those pack openings just in case you haven't seen them already. So what we're doing this episode is I've organised it by we're looking at artifacts because that was the thing that piqued my interest, and anybody that's watched my channel long enough knows that I have a bit of a thing about artifacts and a bit of a thing about elementals, amongst other things. But yeah, artifacts are very high up there. So I thought I'm just going to go through Dominaria Remastered and just have a quite nice, dirtly episode where we just go through, look at the different versions of the cards over time. So we will be drilling down using Scryfall, but I'm not really going to drill down through things like tags like I sometimes do, or like I do a lot of the time. But if there's a particular action on a card, something that a card does that piques my interest, I might well just go off on a bit of a side quest. So let's just go through these nice and slow. So get yourself a nice beverage if you haven't done already, and it's a good opportunity to also have a nice look at the artwork as well. So we have 5 artifacts at rare. At common, at a rarity of common. So yeah, 5 at a rarity of common in Dominaria Remastered. So it'd be interesting to see what they were remastered from, because if you remember, Dominaria Remastered as a set did actually have quite a wide net in some ways. So it did go back to very early sets, but it did also feature some cards from the fairly recently released Dominaria set. So Dragon Engine we start with. We'll just go through this card at a time. And let's look at all the prints here. So yeah, really up until Dominaria Remastered, any cards that you'd seen, and bear in mind that some of these are going to be Magic the Gathering Online, so these two are. These are all this style of artwork, which is the original artwork from Antiquities way back then. So the last time this would have been printed in, this old style in paper would have been, what is this, 6th edition, classic 6th edition. So there's 5th and back. So let's just pick the very first one. Get up close. Who did this? Anson Maddox. Okay. And what else did Anson Maddox do? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Dancing Scimitar. There's Dragon Engine. So what artifacts did they do? I'm just going to, be a bit loosey-goosey here with where I go. So I'm not going to do all of the artists, but just ones that pique my interest. So, and again, I'll keep it biased to other artwork that they might have done on artifacts, I think, to keep it with the artifact theme. So, type artifact. Okay. Oh, Ashnod's Altar. Wow. I have one of those. Interesting. Yeah, maybe do it that way. Some of these have been reprinted quite a few times. I think my version of this is, yeah, probably a Chronicles version, or might be one of these. I think I might pick one up of these when they weren't this expensive. I don't know if anybody remembers these, the mana batteries from way back in Legends. I might well have one of these ones, I suspect. I suppose it just depends on how many cards I opened. Diabolical Machine, Living Armour, wow. From the Dark, no less. Interesting. Okay, let us move on, so we're not here all day and all night. Oh, Jalum Tome, of course. Yep. Interesting old school artwork for Brothers War. Yeah, it was in Commander. Oh, here we go. Yep, so another Antiquities card. Yeah, I like this old style one here, $8. Is that the only? The only black border one in that style? Well, unless you're lucky enough to pick up a 7th edition foil one. Yeah, and also in the older frameworks. I mean, the retro artifacts from, okay, that's pretty good actually. So yeah, if you want that old style artwork in the old style border, then yeah, Brothers War retro artifact is the place to go. So Juggernaut, yeah, it's been reprinted a few times now. I'm trying to remember the first time I actually saw it on a card, whether it probably was 10th edition, and then at some point, because I've definitely seen this, so if I do have one, it's quite possibly a revised copy. It was in dark steel, but different artwork. And there's this quite nice Friday Night Magic one with the old school artwork, but in a modern card frame. Yeah, this is the dark steel one, and then they use that. That's Magic the Gathering Online. You can see different artwork, quite different artwork for M11. M15 had different artwork. That's another online promo. Dominaria. Okay. So we've got no sort of modern equivalents inputted with the old borders, I don't think, and the old artwork, because this is a newer artwork. Pretty creepy when you see what's going on there. It freaks me out, I think, in the same way. If anybody watched is old enough to remember, like, the original Captain Scarlet series, and the bits at the end where he's sort of in peril and he's having all sorts of unpleasant things done to him, that used to really creep me out as a kid. Mind Stone, wow. So many reprints of this now. Yeah. But didn't it go quite a while? It went quite a while, didn't it? Because there's the Weatherlight version, And then, apart from this one, there was, you know, gold border. Next time it was reprinted in 10th edition. But see, when 10th edition came out, I think, yeah, at that point, EDH wasn't such a big thing. If at all known. So, you know, I don't know what the, you know, what it went up to before, if indeed it did, before the Commander 2014 version. It was also in Jace versus Chandra. It's got a pretty nice DCI promo version of it as well. But this is the, you know, like the classic artwork, which, as you can see, has cropped up quite a few times. This is pretty interesting though. 87. Was that ever reprinted on anything else? And then we've got all sorts of, you know, thematic reprints, I suppose, that fit in better with the set in terms of changing the artwork. What was that? Wizards Play Network 2021. There's some pretty interesting versions of this, actually. It's pretty creepy. Oh, there we go. So what's that? That's another Brothers War Commander one. Because weren't those Brother War Commanders decks? I don't have any, but weren't they all old style borders? I think, like retro borders. There's a Dominaria Remastered version. That must be from the list, yeah. So anytime you see them like this, like more recent, with this logo, have a look down here and just see if this is there. That's one on the list, so yeah. Okay, Lost Caverns of Ixalan. And Bloomburrow Commander actually has, wow, that's super clear. That one and the Murders of Karloff Manor, the artwork's really popping on these actually. But yeah, look at all the detail here. All these sort of keys around here. Wow. Okay, Ornithopter. Now this, I'm pretty sure, has existed in quite a few forms, hasn't it? What's the original one? Because yeah, the original design is pretty cool. I'm not sure if I've got any in this style or not. But yeah, certainly this. I must have a 10th edition copy. And then this M10 version. I was trying to think, like, what's my favourite? I suppose I really like these two. And then we've got some quite different styles here as well. And again, you know, Brothers War Retro Artifacts. This sort of interesting style of, or version of it. So in some ways it sort of harks back to this, but in the form of this, which is pretty cool. Okay, moving on. So we're now on to uncommons. Now with some of these, you look at them and you think, well, it's not an old call, it isn't. This is what I was talking about. So some of these, you know, they're reprints of stuff that was originally printed in the Dominaria set. So, yep, so not much change there, but you can get this version of it in, yeah, a sort of old border frame there. I'll just pick one from each of the rarities, because otherwise this video will go on for hours. And again, I'll include links to the starting point, so you can go through this. So yeah, there's a Ocean of Arid Mesa here, but I'm going to stick to artifact stuff. Let's just do by release date, shall we? Ascending. Okay, trading post, yes, of course. Oh yeah, I love this card. I like how it's sort of, you know, so you start off there. 1 tap, discard a card, you gain 4 life. 1 tap, pay 1 life. Put a 0/1 white goat creature token onto the battlefield. 1 tap, sacrifice a creature, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. 1 tap, sacrifice an artifact, draw a card. So each one, the thing you get from the one before sort of builds on that. So this one you get life, either use life to get a goat. This one you use a creature, possibly your goat, to get an artifact returned back from your graveyard. And then this one you use an artifact to draw a card, in addition to the cost of one and actually tapping it. So they sort of build up, but you can't like stack these because you've got to tap them down. Unless, well, I mean, yeah, if you've got something in your deck that'll untap them, then yeah, you can untap the card, do the next thing and so on. I'm assuming, let's just go down I wasn't going to go down here originally, but let's just see what combos we have got. So, where are we? Trading Post, Mirrored Embassies, Lotus Petal, Displays a Kitten. Okay, there we go. Trading Post must be on the battlefield. Mirrored Embassies must be on the battlefield with Mirren chosen. Lotus Petal must be in hand. Displace the kitten must be on the battlefield. Wow. Cast a Lotus Petal by paying 0. Mirrored Embassies and displace a kitten. Trigger. Resolve the Mirrored Embassy trigger, create a 1/1 mere creature token. Resolve the displace a kitten trigger. Blinking Trading Post. Activate Lotus Petal by tapping and sacrificing it and adding 1. Activate Trading Post's third ability by paying 1, tapping and sacrificing the mirror token, returning Lotus Petal from the graveyard to hand. Repeat. Infinite LTB, infinite ETB, infinite sacrifice triggers, infinite death triggers, infinite storm count. There you go. So what's your most expensive card here? It's funny, Trading Post is not surprisingly the cheapest. I don't know whether this automatically always shows you the cheapest card. I think it might do. I'm not sure on that. I can never remember. But I think it does that. So, yeah. Expensive, price-wise, but interesting. I don't know if I have any of these, actually. A Trading Post I've got. That I think I've got a copy somewhere. Maybe. No, I can't remember if that was reprinted. Anyway, back we go. Ditto Cap. So is this another one that's, yeah, so that, wow, quite a big gap between when it was printed originally. It did crop up in that time spiral, time shifted slot. And then we've got Dominaria Remastered. Wow. If a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard to deck a pod from your hand, put it into play with 2/1 counters on it instead of putting it into your graveyard. Should we start a bit of a thing here? Go down there isn't any combo here. Okay. Shame. Dragon Blood. 3 tap, put on 1 counter on target. There's the Saga. Yeah, remember the artwork from Mirrodin? I think when I opened some Mirrodin packs, and certainly I did open a Heroes versus Monsters. So I would have seen, maybe I saw that's where I saw the artwork. I would have opened probably Heroes versus Monsters before I opened any Mirrodin packs, I think. Because I bought some Mirrodin packs and then sat on them for quite a while. I don't want to think how expensive they might be now if I did not open them, but that doesn't matter. Where's the fun in that? If you, at the time I bought them, they weren't super expensive. Yeah, there was a period, I think, in the early, what would it be, 2010s, where it was relatively easy to pick up older packs. At a fairly reasonable price. I think the only one that seemed to cost me quite a lot of money, relatively speaking, so the only ones that got up at that point above $10 would have been, I think it was, what was he now? Original Ravnica, that set. Yeah. Oh, Icy Manipulator. We've seen this loads of times in This Old Deck series. And I tend to forget the one that I remember because of that's, the one I saw probably first, because early on in the channel I did track down, I think, some Ice Age packs and open them. I don't know if I ever opened any Ice Age on camera, that's the trouble. But I've certainly revisited that through going back through my binder. And I remember this from the set. But I tend to forget, this is what the original looks like. So there you go. Did they ever... What did they do here? So we've got, that's the oversized league prizes. There's that one, which is pretty interesting. Friday Night Magic, $9. There's an interesting version for Mirrodin as well. Yeah, so this has got this star one. Oh, that was in the another dual deck. Johnny and Tau, of course, 10th edition. So probably the first version I saw was probably this, but for whatever reason, it's probably doing this Old Deck series where we're covering this period a lot. So Ice Age would come up. This is the one that over time I've got more familiar with. And again, I think we've actually, I won't spoil this, I've got another, I've got a This Old Deck episode coming up, so I'm not going to go down that artist rabbit hole. You have to see what I'm going to do for that one. I've got an interesting This Old Deck episode where we take a slightly different approach to it. So, Millikin. Now, I do know this is quite different in Odyssey. It's pretty interesting artwork. I don't know which I prefer more. And this is pretty cool to see in its original in paper. I'm definitely going to be going, I know I did a first pass through a lot of binders, and for each side I pulled out certain cards, but I definitely feel like I want to do a second pass. Now I've got more people interested in the 15 cards episode. I'm probably going to revisit some of the sets that I did in the past. So yeah, and I've got a thing called my booster binder, which is got one pack of each Magic the Gathering set from around about. So there's a 3rd edition booster in there. They've all been opened by me. I didn't film some of them for some reason, which is weird why I didn't. But anyway, it must have been just the time when I opened them. So yeah, there's a 3rd edition one in there, and then I skip a set, and then it's from the set. Not the set after 3rd edition. I can't remember which set that would be actually. And then the set after that it's every one up to when I stopped sort of opening packs. So what would it be? Sometime around what was the name of the set with the different schools in it? Strixhaven. Yeah. Strixhaven. There's a few other things I've missed in it as well. Like, you know, there's things not like Port. Yeah, so it's got all of the regular expansions, so core sets, regular expansions, and then some of the special supplemental sets are in there as well. So some of the Modern Master stuff and various things like that. So definitely worth going through there, because I suspect there's some stuff I've sort of forgotten about. Yeah, well, this is cool. Throne Golem. Oh yeah, I remember this. Now, why? Okay, so yeah, okay, so it was reprinted for 2012, and that's right, it was in the plain chest decks, wasn't it? And yeah, obviously the anthology, or it was in the anthology, not necessarily obviously, because they only chose, what was it, 4 decks out of a possible 8, I suppose, something like that. Dominaria Remastered. I'm trying to remember if this is in some... Did I put this into some EDH deck? Or did I play around with a build? There's probably a pretty good chance I would have opened one of them. Well, certainly, I've got the Plain Chase 2012 product, so yeah. So this one only, this only existed for the online promos, didn't it? Yeah. Curious. Trying to rack my brains with this. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've seen it in a deck apart from the precons, and now I just don't remember. This makes me smile. Tormund script. So this, where are we? Yeah, way back with the dark. So if indeed I do have a copy of this, then I think, in this style, then probably Chronicles. And then I'm pretty sure I opened one when I opened M13, and obviously I've got these Commander decks, because as you know, I think I've got the first sort of 10 years of Commander decks. I don't have the Commander's Arsenal, but I think I have roughly the first 10 years of Commander decks. Something like that. Okay, so it did end up in the Mystery Booster too, but in the... it's funny. It's in this style frame. I never know really how I really feel about this frame, actually. It's not... Yeah. I know some cards just look super cool in it. But yeah. I do like this one though, actually. It's another one that's quite interesting too, with the M13 version. Like to zoom in and have a look at the details, see if there's anything you can spot there that maybe you didn't notice. But look here, look, we got this. Is that like a hooded skull thingamajig? Let's have a look. It does look like that, doesn't it? I've got some pretty interesting faces on here. Yeah, I definitely need to dig out some historical... Whoops, daisy, what happened there? Yeah, dig me out some Tormund's Crypt. See which ones of these I actually have. Yeah, I've got to have at least one of these, this style ones, or certainly because I got the Commander stuff. Maybe this one. Pretty sure I might have this one, but not this. But now I'm really curious about featuring it in a future 15 cards episode and like zooming in. There's just so many cards, I mean, that I now want to do, and I've been going through these. This is why these episodes of Scryfall Shenanigans like dovetail really nicely onto other things or lead me down certain avenues. Oh yeah, there's a saga. So this, there's a saga. So yeah, this is a 0/7 wall. Whenever a wall of junk blocks, return it to its owner's hand at end of combat. So it's 2 to cast, 0/7. It is a wall, so it can't attack. But it does this weird bounce thing where it bounces back into your hand. So interesting blocker. Is there a... No, there's no combo on there. Have a quick look in Cube Cobra. Here's all the good stuff. I try and sort of avoid, if I'm doing like one episode like this where I'm sort of concentrating a little bit more on the sort of historical representation of the card in the art, I try and, because I know if I get sucked in, it's like a black hole. Yeah. So they did keep the original artwork. That's cool. Now, again, yeah, doesn't quite cross the 1% mark, which is recently I've been going through my collection and pulling out, just for curiosity, all the commons in that I have in sets where they cross this 1% mark, just to see what would come up. So at some point they're going to feature in a future 15 cards episode, but I've not done it for other cards that I own yet. I just did it for the commons because I'm just curious, like what would how many of those do I have, and because I'm more likely to have more copies of commons. So yeah, anything that's 1% or above on EDHRec. There's a few I did on the threshold, so there's a few that were under this, like this one, but looked interesting. So yeah, Arcades, no surprise there. Door and Siege Tower deck, okay. The usual ones where you might be playing around with walls. Okay, moving on. 8 rares. Oh, Crawl Space. There's his Legacy. I remember being in Commander 2013. I remember seeing the card. That was probably the first time I'd seen it. No, that one's actually more expensive than the original Urza's one. Interesting, like a homage to the original card. Cryptic Gateway from Onslaught. Oh, that looks really cool in Onslaught, doesn't it? With this sort of old style border. Helm of Awakening. Now, I think, I remember this from Visions. All spells cost 1 generic mana less to cast. Can't remember if I have a copy of that. It would probably be the sort of thing that I might buy as a single, because I've only ever opened I think, a single pack of Visions, so I certainly don't think I pulled it from a deck. But when I was going through looking at interesting cards in different early sets, I did buy, you know, the odd single here and there. That sort of, you know, let's have a look and see other artifacts here. Hope you're enjoying this. Oh, cranial plating. Wow. Yes. Oh. Oh, of course, Mind Stone. Yeah. Yeah. Sword of the Chosen. Okay. All of Junk. Another favourite. I did a version of Primal Clay as well. Cool. Okay. This is pretty interesting. If I do... how can I do this? Is that going to work? Yeah, I think so. Oh, there's a 5th Dawn version. So when did I first see this? Plane Chase, I suppose. Yep, Banded Pauper, however you want to say that. Dross Column. Oh, this, yeah, Helm of Awakening. Ooh, we might have a nice little art collection here that's not super expensive. Let's just have a look. See what we can find. What does it top out at? That's pretty good, you know. Yeah, so a themed, themed artist artwork, 18 cards. Topping out at 326, so you'd have the... What versions of these? Would they all be the originals? So yeah, Champions. Yeah, wow. Macadian Mask one there is slightly more expensive. There's a Corset one that's cheaper, but I'd be inclined to go for the Macadian Mask ones myself. Like all the original ones. There's a 5th edition. Some of these are going to be different artwork. Different artists. Another 5th edition. Yeah, so I know Primal Clay had different artwork. Oh, World Championship version. There's Mirage. Okay. Another 5th edition version. You probably want to go through these and just see the earliest one that it was printed in. For that, you know, again, for that particular artwork. Yeah. There we go. That's really cool. Now, good old Mind Stone. So this one, yeah, if you went way back, the version here, yeah, it's only more than 68 cents. Maybe have the 2 different border versions if you really wanted to. Oh, that's put a smile to my face. Yeah, so again, interesting what happened with the artwork here, like in terms of the colours there. Wonder what made them do that. Is it, I don't know, does it look to you like it's changed? It's definitely been lightened up, hasn't it? I think. Yeah. Oh, Jester's cap, of course. That's the original one. Oh. 5th edition. And there's Ice Age. It's $8. Yeah, the 9th edition one. From the Vaults. Relics. I'm not sure if I have one of those or not. keep meaning to pull out my from the vault stuff actually. At some point I might get around to doing it this weekend. So I can say I wanted to do sort of a retro 15 cards episode on some of the from the vaults sets I've got. I know I've opened them already on camera, but you know, I wanted to sort of try and go in close, see how the the foiling is held up, or they must be like super bent now. I left them in their original packaging. It probably wasn't such a good idea. Should have probably put them in the top loaders or something, try and keep them flat, but we'll see. That's pretty interesting artwork from Dominaria Remastered. Oh wow, Lotus Blossom, of course. There's a saga. Yep. 197. Thing is, we've got 8 cards here. Let's go down a bit of an artifact. Okay, that's quite a number here then. Release date, ascending, fixing arcanics. So we just wanted old school warders. We've got Crumbling Sanctuary. Yeah, I remember this from Time Spiral. Not sure if I opened this in a pack or I have opened one of these, but it could have been on Magic the Gathering Online. Interesting look to it. M21. A lot of these I just don't recognise. Oh, they did a version of Arcane Signet. Okay. Yeah, I can remember this first came out because didn't it come out in a... Was it Throne of Eldraine? And it wasn't it pretty expensive at that point. And then they printed it in the Commander 2020 project for a common. Triskelion. Oh yeah, this one. I don't know if anybody remembers this version of it. Yeah, which are they? Woohoo! I don't know if I have any of these, but yeah, I remember this one, this version. So it was reprinted in M11. It's mirrored in. That sort of whole, comes into play with so many counters on it. So you've got, Walking Ballista, Grim Poppet, Mindless Automaton, that sort of thing. Again, I like the way they sort of, sometimes you get this almost sort of like homage artwork. It's Dominaria Remastered. Umbilicus, yeah. Oh wow, that's a saga. Right. Kept the original artwork. 1113. There's a mock. Strictly artifacts for me in this episode. Oh. Yep, there's an interesting 2-card collection there. Oh, what collection? Static Orb and Umbilicus. Ooh. Should we have a quick look at a Static Orb deck? Fun Police. What about 214? One, that's there, 2,942, sorry. I misspoke. Umbilicus. Funny. Oh, yeah, this card. Now, I always get confused whether there's a number of Urza's namesake cards that I think I have, and I can always get muddled up. I don't have a copy of this or not somewhere. I mean, I really don't know how much is actually played in Commander. Not a lot. Okay. They did stick it on the list as well. But yeah, it looks cool again in the old artwork. That's sort of, you can see a theme emerging here. There's quite a number of these artifacts that have some sort of nod to a blueprint somewhere along the line, don't they? In there. Oh, not. Oh. Blood Moon, yes. Looks like we've got some cool artifacts here. Or just at least artwork wise. Okay. Oh, the Obelisk of Undoing. Yeah. I think I have one of those, you know. Oh, very nice. Is that again? Are these likely to be, what do you reckon, super pricey? I don't know. If we do this by, I'll round it away, sorry. So Iron Maiden is the most expensive one. Moses Legacy. Ooh. Skull of Orm from the Dark. Arena of Ancients. Yeah, if you want the Legends version, you're looking at $15, but the Chronicles one, 77. Oh, so that's an interesting connection. So we looked at EDHRec stuff. So original Helm of Awakening. Or yeah. And then later on, there is a version in Dominaria Remastered, which isn't the original artwork. Okay. Bronze Tablet. Abandoned Legacy Vintage Commander and Oathbreaker. Oh, because it's an anti-card, yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Messy Tome from... See, it's another one where I think I might have a version of this. I think. 5, tap, draw 2 cards, then choose and discard a card. I really recognise the artwork for some reason from a previous, what's the word? Interaction. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got Chronicles version of this. Oh, War Barge from the Dark. There you go. Moral's Cage. The dark version is $3. There is a Chronicles version. Arkham Slade, wow, from Ice Age. And we have Well of Life from Prophecy. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no untapped lands, you gain 2 life. There's Jalem Tome. Probably used to seeing that. Yeah, oh, we've seen it. Yeah, we've seen it already. Because again, yep, it's also in this set. Cool. Oh, comes Weathervane. And that was also in the Cold Snap theme decks as well. So this is this weird thing where when they put certain cards from Ice Age in the Cold Snap theme deck, they reprinted them and represented the logo artwork as well, slightly differently. You know, the set symbol artwork, and put it in modern borders. So it's pretty interesting when you look through, if you've got one of those decks, and I think I've got a couple, and you stumble across stuff from what be Ice Age and Alliances, and see them in the newer borders with the slightly re-rendered set symbol. And of course they're anywhere where it would be certain rarity, because they didn't have colours on rarities back then. So that's pretty interesting to see. That's pretty is this got a niche card here. As you can hear, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. This is really very cool. So, final stretch now. So, when did I first see Gauntlet of Power? Was it Time Spiral when I retrospectively opened some? Yeah, possibly. That's quite different there. This again is a bit of a echo going on. It's a bit difficult, I suppose, when you're talking about a gauntlet. And not to do that. Legacy weapons. So this is interesting version of the artwork. Yeah. So it's in Apocalypse, 10th edition. So I think this is the first version of it I saw when I opened some 10th edition cards. But what they did with the... I don't know if you can see what they did with the Dominaria Remastered version is, again, it's sort of got echoes of Apocalypse. There, the artwork. Here it's quite different. So this is... where are we? What was the one we started with? This one here. So yeah, several different artists now. And then Urza's Incubator. Yeah, this was the other one I was trying to think of. So yeah, Urza's Incubator. I'm trying to remember if I picked up one of these when they were a lot cheaper or not. But it was in Commander 2015. So I would have that version. It's in the second anthology. I only have the first one. But yeah, all versions of it seem to be above $10. An interesting thing with the artwork there. Okay. What's the first piece of artwork they did? So we got a Sundering Tide from Tom Masters 25. I remember this from Modern Horizons. It wasn't common, so that's probably why. Sundering Titan. Wasn't that? Oh yeah, that was in Dark Steel. And in, yeah, Arch Enemy. And possibly that's where I saw it from. Banned in Commander. I wonder why. So, as a consequence, 0 decks. They're not even showing any potential ones which might have been built. I don't know when it was banned. Anybody know when it was banned? Yeah, I don't really keep up too much up to date with all the various banned lists. So I think. See, I've got the odd card here and there from Relics, so it's quite possible I do have a version of this from the Vault Relics. But because I recognise the logo on it, when I was doing a series way back, like another nostalgia series, and I was going through various years in Magic, I got to a year where for certain sets or releases that I hadn't purchased, which there's been quite a few over the years, but I did want to try and obtain some of the cards from the vault, where because it's quite an elusive product, so I sort of bought some of the cheaper cards as singles, and that may well have been one. Kaladesh Inventions. Did I just see something just popped up there? Oh, there we go. Yeah, numbered one. Okay. Thought so. So no Commander deck for you then. Oh, that's pretty cool. This is Incubator. Oh, 3% of decks. Oh, there's some fun cards there. Morophon. I'm pretty sure it's not in my Morophon deck. Although it would make sense to put it in there, because my Morophon deck is a beast deck. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I did putting it together. It's quite fun to see so how many of these cards have been sort of represented in Magic's history, and it's always an interesting twist when I do this. I do this occasionally with these Scryfall Shenanigans episodes if you've never seen them before. A lot of the times I do sort of drill down through the tags, but it's nice to do like a more of a artwork centric historical version now and again for certain things, and I certainly wanted to do that for Dominaria Remastered, as that's basically what happened when I sort of opened those packs, and I'll include links to those in the description. Yeah, it made me want to sort of go back and look at some of the early cards from then that he was sort of pulling down from. Okay, thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future episode.